Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Back a little bit earlier than I had expected. I think I said in the last video I wasn't expecting to make too many videos for the next few weeks just because of the workload coming up towards Christmas. But yeah, things have changed a little bit. I've actually ended up having a couple of extra days off work because I got home from work Monday night and everything was fine, and I went to bed and I woke up about, I don't know, it must be about 1 o'clock in the morning with incredible pain in one of my hips, in my right hip. And now I started talking, I think I'm waking animals up. I woke up with absolutely incredible pain in my right hand hip. And yeah, Millie's just wandered in. Anyway, yes, and I spent the rest of the night barely sleeping at all. When I got up in the morning, I finally got out of bed after virtually no sleep at about 5 o'clock in the morning, which is normally when I get up for work, roughly thereabouts. And I could barely stand up. I had incredible pain right up in my hip in the joint whenever I moved my leg, if I tried to straighten my leg out. And so, obviously, as my job is quite a physical one, I couldn't go into work. I phoned up and I said something's not quite right here. And I've since spoken to my local GP, and they said to figure out what's going on, I have to go see a physiotherapist. And the next available appointment for a physiotherapist isn't until Saturday. It's currently Thursday. Is it Thursday? Yeah, it's currently Thursday. This is my third day off work. And it's feeling better. I don't know exactly, I still obviously don't know exactly what's wrong because I haven't seen the physiotherapist yet. And it's feeling a lot better, but the pain has moved, so it's not just in my hip. My hip itself is a lot better, but I'm having a lot of pain and discomfort in my right knee now. I don't know exactly what, I haven't got a clue exactly what's going on. I don't think it's if I had to guess, I'd say it's some sort of tendon issue. But I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, I haven't got a clue, that's just a guess. I can walk about now. The last 2 days I've barely even been able to walk. Today's the first day I'm actually comfortable just getting up and walking around. I'm still struggling a little bit going up and down the stairs. In fact, Tuesday night I actually slept in my living room just so I didn't have to bother going upstairs. But yeah, so for at least a short period of time, I'm not going to be going into work, so I might be able to make a couple of extra videos. So I'm slightly irritated just because I've done so much extra work the last few weeks. It's all going to be wiped away. Obviously, I'm going to lose all the extra overtime I've done because I'm not going to be there. It's all just going to be lost, which is disappointing. But on the flip side, it's allowed me to get on with a few other things that I've been neglecting, such as videos. So yeah, I thought I would make... Know what you're doing. Where are you? I should think she's down there somewhere. So I thought I wanted to make a quick video talking about my septum. I've been thinking more and more recently again about getting it back up to 29 again. I was actually just looking through my old videos. I don't think I actually have an old video with the 29mm piece actually in my nose. Let's slide about it. I just oiled it up. I've just jumped out of the shower, so it's all oily and slippery at the moment. But I don't think I actually have a video of the 29mm piece in my nose. I'm not 100% sure. But in an attempt to try to get back up to 29 again, what I've started doing is actually wearing the 29mm piece just for an hour or so, once or twice a week, like over the last week or so. And I thought I would actually just get that on video. And so obviously 28mm pieces in right now, and the area that I've been having issues with is just down there. And I've put the 29mm piece in a couple of times now just to see how it goes, and it seems to be okay just for temporary wear. So what I'm hoping is if I can chop and change it back, swap it back and forth between 28 and 29, semi-regularly, it'll help the piercing adjust back up to 29. And hopefully we'll be okay. I thought I might actually put it on video, just so it's out there, and yeah, just to document it as much as anything. So yeah, I'll just take this out. Even this is still a little bit tight. See how I actually take that out. Slide it out one side. It just feels weird. And then there we go, popped out. And that's the 28mm piece right there. Let me just clean that up a bit. Clean my nose a bit. Excuse me. And so yeah, that's the 28mm bit. There's the 29mm. We'll try and see if you can see the difference. It's barely, you can barely tell the difference. And line up a bit. They're lined up at the top. No, they're still not even lined up at the top. Bear with me. There you go. So I can, it's kind of hard to show exactly, but I'll see if I can line the bottom up and show on my forehead. There you go. Anyway, yeah, so the difference is obviously literally 1mm, and it's barely perceptible when you actually look at them side by side. I think you can just tell that this one is slightly bigger, but getting it through my nostril is actually a little bit of a challenge. And then obviously when it's actually inside my face, I can feel the difference. I really can feel the difference. So bear with me while I just oil up my face. So I still just use bio oil. I mean, there's no reason to use bio oil. Something similar like vitamin E oil will work just as well. But then this tiny little thing lasts forever. I think it's like £6 or something. So, you know, not exactly a massive loss. Just oil up all the inside of my nose. And this is what I do when I actually give it a proper oil rub. I actually rub all the inside. Just help to flush the blood around the tissue. It's not something I get to see very often myself, actually. It's a peculiar thing to watch. So yeah, really oil it all up. I'll actually put a little bit more on, just to try and particularly to lube up the nostril itself, just to help with the actual inserting the jewellery. So yep, got the 28 and 29mm bit there. That's the 29. I'll put some oil all around this as well. Millie's come in for a wander. And see if we can actually get it up my nostril. This will be the painful bit, just getting it through my nostril. Oh, it's tight. Oh, there we go. I have to get it in place. Now I can obviously definitely tell that it's quite a bit, not quite a bit big, but I can feel that it is definitely bigger. And there you go. I think it's more or less straight. Just let me wipe a little bit of that oil off. It feels like it's more or less straight in my nose. I should have bought a mirror with me so I can properly check that it feels like it's straight and checking that it looks like it's straight. I don't know if you can hear that. I think Millie's ripping something up in the other room. I might have to go check in a second. But yeah, so there you go. That's the 29mm piece actually in my nose. I'll give you a couple of side shots. I'm trying to see myself. It's not something I get to see very often from this angle. So yeah, so from the front it really doesn't look much difference. I don't know exactly how much difference it looks from the side, because obviously I don't really see my nose from the side of it. But presumably it would look a little bit different. Just in case you wonder where my lip is, my nose is actually almost in line with the top of my lip now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, straighten up a bit. It doesn't even actually feel that tight. And I guess it's been at this size a handful of times before anyway. And plus I just used loads and loads of oil, which really does help as well. That's one thing that makes a big difference with something like this. Getting lots and lots of oil in there really helps the whole process along. But yeah, so that's a 29mm septum. I don't know how well you can see the area that's been giving me the problems. Let me see if I can find something to... Oh, I found a pen, that'll do. The area that's been giving me the problems is just around there. I don't know if you can tell. I think it looks a little bit red on the video. It's kind of hard to tell. The lighting in here isn't fantastic. I should have done this earlier in the day while it's still lighter. But yeah, so my plan is, for now I'll do it perhaps twice a week, and I'll just leave it at this size for maybe an hour or two, and then I'll go back down to this size again, 28, just to give the piercing, make it a little bit easier for the piercing to adjust over time rather than just whacking it in and leaving it there. It definitely feels stretched. Don't know how well you can see that all. And the tissue I'm concerned about is around just about there somewhere. But it feels okay. It's not tender at all, which it shouldn't be immediately after a stretch. That's the thing when stretching a septum, it shouldn't hurt right away, but after a few days, or certainly after 2 or 3 days, that's when you start experiencing the denting side of things, and that's when it gets really uncomfortable. But I'm not going to be leaving it in that long. Like I said, maybe a couple of hours, just to allow it to settle in a little bit and for the actual tissue itself to adjust to the size a bit, and then I'll put the 28 back in. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. I actually have the 30mm bit here as well. I'm not going to put that in. I thought I'd just show that off one more time. That is my current goal, the 30mm piece. And there's the 20 next to it. You can definitely see there's a bit of a difference between those two. Obviously, gives you a little bit of an idea where it is now, just sort of roughly being in the middle of those two. But yeah, so that's my, as I mentioned many times before, that's my current end goal. And I don't know, even if, just because of the issues I've been having, even if I get here, this might well be my final goal. But then I know what I'm like. Let's compare there to there. I know what I'm like. I say it'll be my final goal, and I'll think, oh, I'll just try another couple of millimeters. So, but yeah. So for the time being, that will sit in my nose for the next couple of hours. I will take it out again. I think the time right now is about 8 o'clock at night. And so I'm generally, naturally speaking, I'm something of a night owl, which so it's nice to have this week in some ways just to stay up a bit later, because normally I have to go to bed about 9 o'clock at night for work. So it's nice to revert back to my natural sleeping patterns for a few days. Yeah, I'm making the most of having a couple of extra days off, getting a few extra things sorted out. And yeah, hopefully I'll find the time to make another video or two before I'm actually properly back at work anyway. So yeah, I've now been talking for over 13 minutes now, which is longer than I had expected. I'm going to go sit down with my coffee. Big old coffee mug. This is bigger than a Sports Direct mug. I had a Sports Direct mug somewhere, hang on. Yeah, just to show you the difference between a Sports Direct mug and this mug. Actually, it doesn't look that different on video, but in person it's a lot different. That can actually fit inside. So yeah, anyway. That was nothing to do with anything. So yeah, anyway, have a great night. I'll speak to you all again soon, and hopefully I'll get another video recorded in the very near future before I have to go back to work again. Ta-ra for now. Bye.